Hello there, this is DBT, and these are the rooms. And alright, let's continue playing some more Asphalt 8, and today we will continue doing the Run of the Bulls. We have finally reached Class S, the last cars in the entire Lamborghini catalog, but that's not to say that it's only a few. There's a lot of cars, Lambos in Class S. So we're gonna start this up, you know how it goes, multiplayer, Lambos, oh yeah. But if you enjoy my content, hit the like button, subscribe, you know, it helps the channel, it helps me, so do it for me, please. Or for the channel, or both, why not? Alright, so, yes, we're gonna start with the Lamborghini Aventador superveloce, which in my opinion is one of the most underrated Lambos in all of Asphalt 8. Now, is it deserved? Perhaps, then in which case isn't really under... whatever, let me select the car and start this up. And if you're curious about the stats, here they are. You want to see all of this stuff, which as I normally say is not very useful, but there you go. Now, don't pay attention to the fact that this is not a Lambo. Let's pretend that's not the case. It's fine, it's fine. Listen, I know what you're thinking. DBT, you said you were gonna drive Lamborghini exclusively in this multiplayer series, but I see that you were driving something else. Yes, that is true. That is because I'm recording this after the Saturday's Friday multiplayer event happened, where we played with a bunch of different cars and whatnot, so it's not Lambo exclusive. I'm sorry, but it's not as easy as it once was for me to upload video after video after video after video about just Lambos and whatnot. There's a lot of other things to do here in the channel. I already did protest with a different car, with the Tri Nemesis. I had to record videos for the patch notes and a bunch of things like that. So yes, I can no longer just focus for an entire series or for an entire multiplayer season to play exclusively with Lambos, because man, you know, being reporting on things that are happening in the game requires me to, you know, do other things as well as my Saturday's Friday multiplayer event, which I already did one that was Lambo exclusive only, but 2 in a row. Come on, I love Lambos. I know you like Lambos as well, but variety is always a good thing. That is why, in spite of the fact that I have a bunch of Lambos, I like driving other cars as well, because variety. But anyway, so what is the deal with this car? Why am I saying that it's a very underrated car? For a long time, this car was hated a lot. In fact, I already made a video on this car on a full protest in multiplayer, so if I remember, I'll put the link in the top right about now. So I talked over there about how people always consider this to be the useless Class S Lambo when it came to the... Oh, Jesus Christ! To the top of the brackets. You know, there was a Centenario, there was the Cien, and then there was this. And people used to say that this car was straight up terrible. Is it terrible? I think it's okay. That's all I can say. Now, I got an 8th place, but things went a little bit sideways on this race. It's fine. Lots of players, so if you want to see who beat me, look at that. Even at 300 plus unboosted beat me. But then again, to be fair, that car even unboosted, it's pretty damn strong. So yeah, there you go. Is this a terrible car? I don't know. Listen, I know that I'm probably biased when it comes to Lambos and all of that stuff, but I'm still gonna say that this is not a straight up terrible car. Is it worse than the other 2 Lambos? Yes, absolutely, for sure. But I don't think it's straight up terrible. I heard that apparently has really bad recovery or something like that. I really don't know. I can still enjoy playing this car. And as I said in another video, I think it was precisely on the video on the Tri Nemesis protest, in general, if you're focusing specifically on multiplayer, it really makes very little difference which car you bring into multiplayer, because multiplayer in whatever class tends to be very samey, with all of the cars performing very similar overall. Yeah, there's difference, but they're very small. Which, yeah, they can make a huge difference in time-limited events or in Gauntlet where every millisecond counts, but in multiplayer where everything is a mess and everybody's crashing on everybody, look at that. I mean, it really doesn't matter, and a car like this can give you still some pretty good results. That's why I always scratch my head a little bit when someone just straight up says, this car is absolutely terrible. And not only this, any car really. Unless it's something like the Mercedes-Benz Biome in Class B that really it's super weird because it has a straight up trash level, next level trash, nitro, things like that. Cases like that, I can understand someone saying that it's trash, but a car like this one, that it's very okay, you know, that's why I'm like, I'm not sure that we should just be freely calling any car that isn't the best trash. That's just the way that I see it. In multiplayer, randomness will happen no matter if you're driving the best car, and you know, you might still get results even with a not amazing car. So that's why, since I focus so much on multiplayer, not so much on TLEs or Gauntlet, that's why to me a lot of these cars are just perfectly usable and they don't represent anything like a straight up trash or anything like that. But anyway, that's fine. Not a bad result, I will say, given that it's full lobbies with tons of players and lots of crashes. And by the way, I'm recording this towards the very end of this multiplayer series, when there's only like a couple hours before it ends. So yeah, it makes sense that there's a lot of people playing, and actually this ends up being quite interesting for me to test this class's cars precisely when there's a lot of people playing. So I don't know, I think it's kind of fun to do it this way, but Jesus, 12 players in Dubai, this is gonna be a mess. And if it isn't, then cool. And yeah, I tend to go on the upper side over here precisely because I know there's gonna be a lot of traffic down there because it's the better route. So I go up here. Yeah, it's not the best route, but at least I dodge or avoid some knockdowns at the very start. Oh my god. Oh, I'm so sorry. I think I just sandwiched Asien against the wall, but it wasn't a knockdown. So that's... Oh, did that guy just miss the jump? No, I think he just like that. Okay, fair. There's a 𝐁𝐮𝐥𝐥𝐬 right next to me. Don't push me, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate you, Mr. Alex G. You're a clean player, and I respect clean players. So let me knock you down. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Imagine that. I respect you for being a clean player, so let me destroy you. But yeah, so... I'm telling you, this car is alright. Not amazing. Yeah, not terrible. Again, for multiplayer, I understand now that I need to make this differentiation of the focus on multiplayer versus Gauntlet or TLEs, where the differences, the small differences can mean, oh my god, top 4 Lambo. Oh, okay, I want to see that podium. I need to see that podium. That's gonna look absolutely beautiful. Just check this out. Check this out. Top 3 Lambos. Not only that, the guy on first place, Mesta 5 Renty, with the DBT hoodie, love to see that. And every Lambo in this podium, it's a different Lambo. Oh man, isn't that pretty? You love to see Lambo power, baby. So we go from one Lambo that I really like how it looks to one Lambo that I really dislike how it looks. The Lamborghini Huracan Evo Spider. Jesus, do I have thoughts to give you on this car? So many thoughts, but let's find some more races. Speaking of lots of players on a small map, oh boy. But yeah, so this Lambo, Jesus Christ. All right, so what is my beef with this Lambo? First of all, I don't like very much the way it looks. You know that I'm not a big fan of convertibles, roadsters, or straight up headless cars. Now, this car doesn't look terrible. It's just a convertible, so it doesn't have a roof. I mean, it can have a roof, but not in this game, you know what I mean? What I don't like about this car is, I talked already before in the video where I talked about the rank king that isn't a king, meaning the regular Huracan, the LP610. How I'm not a huge fan of Huracans, but I'm very happy to admit that it's a very beautiful car. My problem with this particular version of the car is that it looks ugly in my opinion. Because it's a convertible, they had to change the look of the engine cover and all of that stuff to fit the convertibleness of it. So look, over this section right here that I'm putting the mouse on, that section looks super plain because that's precisely what covers the soft roof, Jesus Christ, the soft roof of the car. So I don't know, I just don't find this a very appealing looking Lambo in general. So yeah, I don't love the way this Lambo looks. It's not that I have anything per se against it, at least not in this game. Don't worry, I'll go into that in a bit. Look at that, first place, blah, blah. Alright, I bet all of that stuff. I'm not gonna read it out. If you want to see it, there it is. Let's find another race because I still need to talk about the performance. Now, when I say performance, I don't mean how good or bad is this car compared to other cars in this game. What I want to talk about the performance of this car is that this car should not be in Class S. It shouldn't. It's a Huracan with probably like 650 horsepower. How is this competing against Chiron 300 pluses and Jescos and super high tier cars, you know? You know how much horsepower does a Bugatti Chiron has? Like 1500, something like that, right? I don't know the exact number. But, you know, that's what I'm saying. This car should not belong here. They should be in Class B. This really doesn't belong here. If the regular, oh Jesus Christ. If the regular Huracan, the LP610, it's on Class B in 1410, they should be around there too. 1770 tops if you really want to push it. But to be fair, they, oh god, I messed up. Oh man, that was terrible. Well done, DBT. I don't know if you know about this, but generally speaking, convertibles tend to be slightly slower cars than coupes for two reasons. One of them, they're a little less aerodynamically effective, and oh god, and also because they need to have this convertibleness to it. for example, this car that has the mechanism for, you know, bringing up the roof and whatnot, all of that adds weight. And then on top of that, because they don't have a roof, they need to make the car more stiff in other areas for the sake of safety and whatnot. So that also makes the cars heavier. So if anything, it should be maybe a little bit worse performing. I'll settle with the same performance, general idea of performance of the car. Just say, what I'm saying is that this car doesn't belong in Class S. That's what I'm saying. Jesus Christ. Sorry, it bothers me a little. Now, what I'm gonna say is not Asphalt 8's fault. But when I see this car, the Huracan Evo Spider, I hate it. Not only for the looks, but I hate it because it's so spammed in Asphalt 9. I know, different game and all that, but you know. This car, imagine, what is the most spammed car here in this game? As much as the spammy Bentley in Class B is very spammed and whatnot, I think the spam of this Huracan in Asphalt 9, oh Jesus Christ, mother... I think the spam of this car in Asphalt 9 is way worse, believe it or not. This car is amazing in Asphalt 9. It's considerably easy to get, and it's so ridiculously good that it can, no problem, really do amazing in its own races, in its own class in Class B. And because of how Asphalt 9 works, you can also compete a Class B car, for example, against Class A. This car can still put up an incredible fight in those cases because of how good this car is. Which makes it, when you have a car that is very good, that it's very easy to get, guess what? It gets spammed. So you see this car all day, every day. It's so boring. Oh my god. So I learned to also hate this car because of that. Again, it's not Asphalt 8's fault. Maybe it's not this car's fault. But man, I'm so tired of seeing this car. So yeah, I really haven't even done a pro test of this car in this game. That tells you how much I don't want to drive it. I had to get it obviously because it's a Lambo and it's for my collection, but man, I tell you, I have some. Oh no, it's time to swap car. And now we go from a car that I kind of hate because it's so spammed and I don't like the looks, to a car that I love the looks of, but there's something that I don't like about it, and that's the sound. The Lamborghini Terzo Millennio. Yes, the one, for now, electric Lambo. And I specified that it's for now. Oh, look at that, there's Carlos. That's one of the rumors. Let's go, Carlos. I say for now because you know that the way that the automotive industry is going, everything is going for electrification. So while this car is a concept car, it was never built in a functional way. There's a husk version of the car out there. But yeah, it's not a functional car or whatever. The reality is that fully electric Lamborghinis are coming. Lamborghini already revealed the, what is it called? The Aventador, which is like, I don't know if it's an SUV. I don't think it's an SUV proper. I don't know exactly what classification of car it is. It may be an SUV, who knows? But yeah, it's not a sports car, but it's a cat. Damn it, man. It is a fully electric Lambo that it's coming, I think in 2026? 27, 28, somewhere over there. I'm not exactly sure when. But that is going to be a full-on production car, which is meant to... I don't know if it's meant to replace the Urus or it's meant to be somewhere in between a sports car and a... Oh, God! Jesus, the handling of this car without nitro is really good. Look at this. That's why I crashed over there. I was trying to control it, but without nitro, it handles really good. I mean, I'm already in last place, so who cares? You start using nitro, it doesn't handle anywhere as good. So that's why it was... That was an interesting experience right there. But anyway, oh, look at that, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. At least I got my 9th place. I'm not dead last. That's something. But yeah, so fully electric production Lambos are coming. It's just a matter of time. So if they get added into Asphalt 8, well, this won't be the only electric Lambo. So there we go. This was a terrible race. Everybody beat me. It's fine. Don't think about it too much. Woo! Space age looking car in a space track. Let's go. But as far as the performance of this car, it's also a very okay car. That's where I'll leave it. Okay. I already made a video also talking about this car doing a full protest. And over there I talked about how, for different reasons, but similar to the Aventador SB, people love to just crap on this car and say that it's terrible. Why? Because it's not as good in nitro as it once was. This car, when I was playing, since I started playing 4 years ago, it was Class S, low Class S if you wish. It was like 1805 or something in the rank. But hey, at that time there weren't brackets, so it didn't matter in the way that it matters now. But the point is that this car had absolutely insane nitro duration. It was insanely good. I think the acceleration was also really good, and the rest of the stats I don't quite remember, but I think overall it was a really good car. So yeah, it was great. But once the brackets got introduced, and you know, a car of the rank 1805 would be matched against cars of rank 1860. So this car would not be able to do a whole lot in that sense. So yeah, I was waiting for it to get rebalanced. It did get rebalanced. It got put into the rank of 1860, and it lost the insane nitro. That's not to say that it has bad nitro now, but it doesn't have the insane level of nitro that it once had. So because of that, people instantly jump to say that, oh, this car is straight up bull garbage. It's like, no, it's not. It is not. Objectively, it's not garbage. All right? Just making that super clear. First place, baby! Actually, I beat a Jesco Absolute. Look at that. But then again, it's a track. A lot of people don't like this track and they don't drive it very well. So, yeah. The fact that this car is not as good as it once was in terms of what would you say, competitiveness, doesn't mean that the car is trash or garbage now. That's not how things work. Just to give you an example, think of a soccer player who's a very famous soccer player. Ronaldinho. Is that his name? I think so. From what I understand, I don't know, because I really don't know much about soccer or any sports. But I understand that he's an amazing soccer player, right? So, he was, I don't know if he still is, but let's say that a lot of time has passed since his prime. A bunch of time has passed since his prime. Now, does that make him a trash player simply because he's not as good as he once was? No. No, there's still a lot more that is trash compared to him. He's probably still a very good soccer player. Now, this is not a perfect analogy because they could literally have turned this car into straight up trash if they had given it the worst acceleration, if they had given it the worst nitro duration, and it couldn't drift for its life. Yeah, it could have been. But what I'm saying is, the fact that something isn't as good as it once was, it doesn't automatically make it trash. Maybe trash in comparison? Perhaps. But it doesn't make it a trash car. And that is one thing that I keep on seeing people be so incredibly hyperbolic when they talk about cars in this game. And that's why I like making videos where I talk about these things. Because it's like, okay, let's stop with the exaggeration for a second. Let's just focus on, well, not crashing on walls. That doesn't help my case. This is driver error, okay? But yeah, that's why I'm like making these videos to be like, okay, listen. Stop listening to what, I didn't push him. That's the end, crashed by himself. I didn't push him, so there you go. Yeah, to be like, people, come on, stop it. Is it a king car? No. But is it really as bad as you want to make it sound? It's not. And even in the last video where I talked about this, there were still people in the comments being like, no, but it is actually trash. It is not. Deal with it. Jesus Christ. People just really are upset about this car not being as good as it once was. Now, if you want to have a conversation on the topic of, well, this car used to be amazing when I got it, I paid money for it and all of that, and now Game Love rebalanced it because of all of this whole thing, it's not as good as it once was, that is a valid conversation, but that is a different conversation. Because people, again, are making it where, honestly, nobody's talking about this car anymore, but people were making it out to be like this car suddenly becomes straight up trash and it's the worst car to ever spend fusion coins on when it was still on sale for fusion coins and all that stuff. And it's like, no, people, stop being so exaggerated. Jesus Christ. Yeah, maybe you guys, well, I wasn't honestly upset about it, but maybe even if I was, maybe even I am upset about it, right? But that doesn't make it an objectively bad car. It's just not as good, perhaps, as it once was in terms of competitiveness. But given all the bracket situation and all of that, what do you prefer, to have this car still at the bad rank of 1805, or at least have it now at the rank of 1860, where it now can compete against its quote-unquote peers? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's a very special topic because everybody looks at the game in different ways. But I think, in my opinion, which is the right opinion, I'm just kidding. But yeah, in my opinion, that dude just pushed me on. Oh, he crashed as well, so that makes me happy. Overall, this car is just not that bad, alright? It's okay. That's all. Now again, multiplayer. How about gauntlets? How about TLEs? Well, I mean, at the rank of 1805, it was not gonna give anybody W's in those type of things. So, even there, this car is still better as it is right now. If you enjoyed this video and want to do, hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.